Welcome back. All right, Jersey countdown time. It's been 4 years since I've done a full Jersey countdown. I don't do them every year, so odds are this will be the last one I do for probably at least 4 years. And I wanted to do this different this year, so I'm including most of my international jerseys. There are some that did not end up making the cut. In terms of, I didn't want to include necessarily absolutely everything. That includes some of the European ones as well. So I've also got a cutoff. So anything that would be arriving over the next, say, couple of weeks. Like there's a couple from Royal Retros that I ordered. What I'll do when they arrive is, because I know that they're going to be delivered over the next couple of days, I'll just show you guys when I am doing the Jersey countdown video. And I intend to do these first thing in the morning every day. That's my plan. A little bit different today for certain circumstances, but my plan is to do the Jersey countdown videos first thing. Now, I want to talk about the ones that I actually didn't include. This one here I got off eBay. I don't know how they threw this together. This is not a look the Flyers ever had, but it's ironic, and it is a very silky fabric. You can see that with how shiny it is. This is a very smooth jersey. This is one that I've thought about wearing for when I play street hockey, but I don't know how well this would breathe, this fabric, and it's an oddity. So I'm obviously not going to include this in the Jersey countdown. It's one of these custom made, somebody put it together. But when I saw it on eBay, I was like, I've got to have that, because why not? Now, also in that category, now I've included some specialty like fashion jerseys, but one that I did not include is I've got a lot of San Jose jerseys where they've had their Los Tiburones jersey. So I have not included these in the countdown at all, but I did want them to get time on camera. They've had some really fun specialty jerseys over the years. I think San Jose knocks it out of the park. And these are, as far as I know, and you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, these are freebies you get when you get to your seat. Yeah, this one's gorgeous, isn't it? Golden State Warriors on the shoulder. And, yeah, so, I also got the blue one, right? So, Golden State Warriors, San Jose crossover, just, there's so much ugliness to be had. And I think those are fantastic. And then the Giants crossover, so Sharks, and then it has the San Francisco Giants on the shoulder. So I think those are really fun, but I did not include them in the countdown. And I know there's at least one Day of the Dead, like Dios de los Muertos, that I have. I think it's 2. I think there's 2 of them I have. I went looking. I also had to go looking for another jersey that is in this part of the countdown. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to spend a lot of time hunting around, because I did just do the inventory, so they should be readily findable. I can't blame my wife on that. She was not part of all of it. I was like, I'm going to do this, and it's one of those things that I know I need to do myself. I also am not including my jerseys from Shoresy. So when I'm wearing my Letterkenny hat, the Letterkenny jersey I have won't be included. So this is the Sioux Hunt, and I also have the one that's actually primarily camouflaged. I didn't bring that one over here because I was worried it might break the camera. But yeah, so this is not included in the countdown, but I wanted to include it prior to said countdown. So we're all clear on this, right? All right, number 687. Yeah, I'll be checking my phone on this to make sure I'm at the right number. At the very bottom of the countdown is this beauty here. So this is what I refer to as the Mets Islanders jersey. It's kind of the standard bearer of ugly. Now, here's the tricky part. There are ugly jerseys that are pretty high up on the countdown. People are going to get mad when that happens, but we're probably months away from that. So, yeah, Islanders ends up at the bottom. And it's a tradition at this point. I'm pretty sure it was at the bottom in 2021, so why would I change it? So number 686, this is a fashion jersey. Was never worn in a game. This is something Starter used to do. So it's a Starter jersey. It's a large as well. I don't think I've ever worn this in a video, nor would I. Flyers fans probably horrified that this exists. The weird part is, I think for this to work, you'd kind of have to turn this blue. I think if this was blue, it would look at least a little bit better, but it's weird, it's jarring, it's mildly off-putting too. Number 685. I think Europe would benefit itself from some restraint when it comes to the advertisements. The advertisements cause the European jerseys to end up being lower on the countdown than they otherwise would be. And I say that because the logo's nice. I think the colors are actually pretty nice too. This is Belfast, but the ads, the amount of advertisements, it's very NASCAR, Formula One, like race car driver kind of thing. And I understand that for European hockey fans, I know a lot of them are fine with the advertisements, but to those of us in North America, it's kind of jarring. So yeah, if there was a Belfast version of that jersey that was ad-free, I think it would look really nice. It'd be much higher in the countdown than what it is, but the ads definitely drag it down. Number 684. I'm definitely going to need my phone for all this. Why? I think that the idea behind this was interesting. I think having a pyramid balancing on another pyramid, because that's kind of what it looks like, is fascinating. I want to know the physics behind that. But I understand it's an A. It's a stadium jersey. It's weird. The Avs stadium jerseys can be a bit of a misadventure at times. And to me, that's kind of where this is. All right, next on the countdown, Buffalo. And it's not going to be the only Buffalo one in this countdown. This is actually a Reebok Authentic. That's kind of the fun part is I got this for less than $100 from Full Moon Jerseys as an Authentic. And I was like, well, it's an ugly Authentic. I have to have it. So, yeah, this Buffalo Sabres jersey is ugly. And because of the blue on the back, it makes it look like you're wearing a cape. Everything's yellow. And then on the back, you got the blue. So it's like you have a cape, but it's not a cape. And would it be uglier with a cape or no? I don't know that it would make a difference. I don't know that it would matter. But, man, and the word mark and everything, just, points for bravery, maybe? Bravery of the team to wear it. I still remember Steve Ott spoiling it. I still remember Steve Ott posing with that jersey on and having this look on his face like, I have to wear this, which was entertaining. Next on the list at number 682, so that was 683, is Detroit's first reverse retro. So what they were going for here was sort of like the silver jersey they had. Well, there was silver in the logo, and the silver band on the jersey they were kind of copying with this had all their Stanley Cups in it. That is a much better jersey to this one. Now, if there was silver here, if this Red Wing, instead of having white, had silver, we might have had something going on, which that silver, the other jersey with silver in it has, which is why it's much higher on the countdown than this one. In fact, that one I think is absolutely gorgeous. We'll get there when we get there. But, yeah, Detroit's first reverse retro. And the other reverse retro is not very high on this countdown either. So that brings us to 682 at 681, the Chilliwack Chiefs. Yeah, I grew up watching the Chiefs. This is very similar to the kind of stuff they wore when I was cheering for them as a kid. The Chilliwack Chiefs, of course, are gone again because they're going to bring a WHL team to Chilliwack. I've got the WHL jerseys for the last time that they tried that with Chilliwack, so I hope it works out better this time. It didn't work out great last time. Did not work out all that well. All right, so we're into the top 680. See how fast this is going? All right. 680 is the Buffa Slug, as it's termed. The Buffalo Sabres, the last time they made the playoffs, they were wearing this. And they're 679. The Buffa Slug, I'm pretty sure the last time I did a countdown, they were right next to each other, right near the bottom as well. Have we reached the point yet where Buffalo fans are going to say, you know, that's not that ugly, we could bring that back? I don't think we're there yet. But yeah, 680 and 679. In either order, it doesn't really matter. There are going to be times in this countdown where I have two jerseys back-to-back in the countdown that are either the same style as these are or very, very similar in their look. So I feel like having them any further apart than right next to each other wouldn't make much sense since they're almost the same jersey. Number 678. All the things I said about European jerseys apply to this Ostrava jersey as well, which, again, that's a fun logo right there. That is a fun logo. And so I do like the logo. I do like parts of it. It is a CCM jersey for people who want CCM back in charge of NHL jerseys and all that, but it's the amount of ads. there's so many ads. It is odd. I mean, they're even on the neck, all the way around the neck, actually. And so, to me, that does drag it down a little bit. So if we could get versions of these jerseys minus the ads, like I said with Belfast, we might be onto something. But the European jerseys, that is kind of what happens. Which brings me up to number 677, the gray checkerboard Reeboks. So I have other gray checkerboards. So what happened was Reebok did basically all 30 teams. It was 30 at the time. And this is my favorite of the bunch. In fact, I used to wear this one in videos semi-regularly because there wasn't a lot with Columbus, but everybody knows I love the Cannon. But the gray, the checkerboard, it doesn't work. The blue with the checkerboard, it doesn't work. This was the third different fashion jersey that Reebok had made. I would like to see Fanatics do something like this, where they have like a design that's kind of like, if they want to consider it fashionable, which this never was, but something more fashionable. And then just, all of the logos of the teams go on the front, and you have potentially 32 fan bases clamoring for a fashion jersey. This is the fashion jersey. And it would be higher up if I was just grading this jersey, but I decided to just go by the design and say, nope, the design I will rate, and then the rating is lower. Which brings us up to the next one, number 676. Another Islanders, and it's the stadium jersey from the most recent stadium game they've played. This looks like something that you're the graphic designer for the Islanders, and they say, so that jersey's due tomorrow, what do you have? And you go, oh crap, I forgot to make a jersey. And so very quickly in Photoshop, it takes about 20 seconds. You just, you make sure this logo's on the shoulder, and you put Isles, and there you go, boss. The boss is like, we gave you how long, and that's what you came up with? Like, it feels, I don't know. And for people watching this, word marks never score very high on my list of favorite things unless I feel like it's really clever, or in the Rangers case, there's a bit of iconic to it, right? And this doesn't really have the iconic. The interesting thing is that you've got the blue in here, which is like fisherman, the same colors like the fisherman jerseys they had. If they'd gone with that kind of color for this jersey, it probably would have rated a little higher. But that didn't happen. So we're up to what, 675? Yep, 675. Nashville fans are usually not very happy with how I rate their jerseys. So I know it's called Smashville. I get it. I feel like if you had the pick as like the main logo and not the big, so like, again, there's a similarity here. I'm telling you, he cheated. Whoever came up with this design cheated. Might have used this as a template, removed Smashville, changed the color. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that makes some sense. But, yeah, the Smashville jersey, to me, was a miss. This is, of course, also a stadium jersey. So there's a lot of stadium jerseys. So rather than discussing that stadium jersey some more, the next one on the countdown is... that's a stadium jersey. This is number 674, so don't worry, we're almost to the end of this portion of the countdown, and the videos from here going forward will be shorter in length, I promise. So this is also a stadium jersey. The NHL has an interesting track. The funny thing is there's some stadium jerseys I really, really like. There definitely are. The Devils one from, what was that, 2013 or 2014 that I don't have. I really liked it. It was a throwback to their original look. They did have kind of the shiny logo to it. I never had it. I don't have the most recent Devils one either, which I kind of liked. This LA one. So remember, this LA one, the game that they played the Stadium Series against, was against this jersey. So to this day, might be the ugliest game in the history of the National Hockey League. It's got to be up there. We could put together two of the ugliest jerseys together. And it's too bad because the Kings dominate the top 100 of this countdown. Again, I did break it up a little bit more than usual, but yeah, the LA Kings are dominant in terms of where they are on this countdown. And in this case, not so much. not quite so much. Yeah, it's too bad, because their other stadium jersey is pretty high. All right, so 683. I need to look at my phone. This is the Black Accelerator series. So I picked the Rangers because the Rangers, I really like the contrast. This is a Richards jersey, showing how long ago it was that the Black Accelerator and Black Ice jerseys were done. The Black Ice jersey is much higher on the countdown. I thought the Black Ice, they hit it out of the park, and that was the first of the fashion jerseys that Reebok did. But these are nice. They're not awful. Some of the other accelerators I have are less nice than this. So I tried to pick the ones that I thought, well, those are the ones that look best. So with Black Ice, I picked Rangers as well, although I have a Maple Leafs one that also looks really nice. So I'm not showing all of the accelerators, all the checkerboard, all the Black Ice, but I felt like they should be in the countdown because they're jerseys that the NHL put out there, and people have varying opinions on how nice they are or they're not. Number 682. So I mentioned word marks, caps. It's weird that it's caps and nothing's capitalized. Just throwing that out there. And I know capitals isn't for capitalized, but nothing's capitalized on here because that C is the same size as the little a. So, and the fact that they took this, they took the caps off of it and they put the W in there and made that their third, shows that there's a nice design in here, but caps doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm not a huge fan. And so that's 682. And then 681, Nashville fans, I'm sorry. I apologize. But the Winter Classic ends up here. So the full name on here, and I know it's a throwback to, Dixie, all this, the logo on the shoulder. It just, to me, I wasn't a huge fan. In fact, what's the sizing compared with, say, I don't know. It's the sizing of the stripe. What is it with that stripe in the middle? Clearly, THG is not a big fan of the stripe in the middle. We have learned this today. I've learned this today. I didn't realize that many at the bottom had that giant stripe in the middle. But Predators, and most of my jerseys are fakes. You guys are fakes. Most of my jerseys are blanks. Definitely not fakes. We will be doing videos this summer on fakes, how to spot them and everything, so stay tuned for those. But, yeah, this is real deal, and I got this one from, I think, Ben H Sports. Basically, if it's Adidas, a lot of the time I got it through Ben H Sports, and where else? A lot of these San Jose ones, some of them I got through subscribers, but some of them I got off eBay for like $20. There are plenty of jerseys in my collection I paid $20 for. I think this one was $40. So when I hear people talking about, well, I can't afford jerseys, and so I get the knockoffs. Jerseys are affordable on eBay. You just have to know where you're looking, and don't be shy about asking for more pictures. If somebody trying to sell you a jersey gets angry that you ask for more pictures, go look somewhere else, because they know they're selling you a fake and they're trying to lie to you about it. So, at any rate, yeah, that's it. I'm just figuring out which one we use for the thumbnail. I'll probably use the Mets Islanders because a lot of people know that one's coming. But, yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Like I said, I'll be doing 10 jerseys per video, not 20. In this case today, it was 17, plus the ones that aren't in the countdown. And I'll probably wear t-shirts for most of the videos in this series, too. And the hats may not even be hockey related. But anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. And so now we go on. And I will also make sure, we're going on vacation next month, so I'll make sure that I'm a week ahead in what I'm recording. And you don't see the clock in these videos either, so you won't know what day I recorded necessarily. So, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky on my part. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Hit like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Thank you guys ever so much as always. I will talk to you again soon.